go back seasons ago when we're playing a back three, we always do this weird thing like we'll play a back three, we play that for a while, and it's always the first game after that where we switch it up. There's a bit of teething problems, and I think as much as as much as we need to sign players, there's a lot to do on the tactical front, and even on the technical front, bringing in players. As much as we need curtain raisers, as you've shown at this period of the season, you need players that just come in and can just do a job. They don't necessarily have, if they can do it to a level of, let's just, who's injured at the moment? Saliba, that's great. But someone that can just plug the gap, really. You look at City, as much as Ake's been playing amazing, and arguably with Haaland, he's one of their players of the season, he's not necessarily someone that you would say raise the curtains. He fits in, he does his thing, really. And I think that's what we kind of are lacking now. Yes, we could say if Tommy was fit and but this happened, but ifs and buts happen in football. If I'm harsh, we saw what this happened for our season last year. In the same way, I think these players learned from the heartache of missing out on Champions League qualification to the point where we've overperformed, so that, as an Arsenal fan, it's luxury, probably us, City, United indirectly, like United slightly less than Manchester City and us. It doesn't really matter what Liverpool, what Villa, what whoever's fighting for top four is doing, because we've done that. I hope we can take those ingredients and make it better. And I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of what we're doing up until this period. Well, in general, anyways. But if if we've got like two boxes and we calculate like what Arsenal was to what we've done this year up until this point, I'm proud. Amazing. From eighth and fifth, amazing. If we isolate that and we're talking about this league thing now, the levels, as I said, I'm not saying this to be harsh, but I genuinely am not surprised by the results, yes, but not the manner of what we've conceded, whether it's been individual mistakes on the transitions, lapses in concentration, set pieces, because they have been there when we've won games, even minimal games where, you look at Leeds and Crystal Palace, we won the game, it was one-way traffic, but the goals, Bournemouth when we won, dramatic, Villa, dramatic, but the things were there. Man United, home and away. It worked for United at their place, it worked for us at our place, and I think both teams actually showed naiveties. You look at Brighton, where obviously Brighton at home's a mad thing, but I'm happy we've already got the away game, already done. But you look at that, we crept into old habits and conceding dumb goals. And, you've all watched the All or Nothing, Ramsdale going absolutely ballistic when we couldn't keep a clean sheet. So in the same way we've patterned up things, why have we not got there yet? And this is what I mean. Until Arsenal learn to crave defending as much as us fans and the players love the fancy football, we won't go to where we need to go to. It's an age-old saying, but it's really facts. Defense wins titles. Attackers win you games, really. And I agree with what Pete is saying here. Ironically, we need to stop treating these games as cup finals. This team is too emotional. I think we need to find that balance, man. I think we need to not play down the game and consider everything, but at the same time, enjoy it. Pressure is a privilege, Obviously, if you don't win the league, you don't win the league. But considering where we've gone, these are privileged issues to have. Man are fighting for a league title. Some players are fighting for their lives. When last were Arsenal legitimately in this conversation? This is what you lot dreamed of in August and before. So relish it, enjoy it, because a football career is short like that, and be fearless. If you lose, you know exactly what the media is going to say, what everyone's going to say. So what have you got to lose? We came here with nothing. I know people run agendas, and the narrative has gone from Arsenal not in top four shouts to we must win the league. But go out there and play like you don't. If you don't know you're going to be here next season, go out there and do it. And for me, if City beat us, let it be because Haaland's done a madness, Kevin's done a madness, Bernardo, whoever. There's something. Sometimes you just have to hold your hands up and say, boom, all right, calm. I'm sure Sir Alex Ferguson said that when Henry used to do madness, and we used to say it when Ferguson their players used to do madness here. Sometimes it is what it is. It's like, I don't know, if we play a prime Barcelona side, with Messi and that, and we're matching them, 89th minute comes, Messi does what Messi does, dribbling past players, does a madness. You just have to sometimes applaud greatness, Let it be because of that. Don't let it be because we was competitive, we switched off. And even if we make mistakes, man, have to react. If I go off the Southampton game, we can't be too emotional. I think that's why we conceded the second against them, because we was too emotional. We were so, oh my God, 30 minutes, 30 seconds in, we've let ourselves down. We know what it means for the table. We've been dropping. Oh my God, we need to calm down. Ultimately, Arsenal Football Club, we need to be a lot more street smart. As I said, as much as it's about recruitment, there's certain experiences these players need to learn from. There's certain things on the technical and tactical front that we must do. Bringing in players isn't half the job, is half the job. I know in this day and age where money's money and everything and everyone wants new players, that's the sexy part, the less glamorous thing. As much as Zinchenko and Jesus has improved us, there's been improvements on the tactical front from pre-season to now. This is what we need to do. You reckon Jesus and Zinni are unaffected by City crowds because they're not They're not long been away. I mean, they're playing in the football game, innit? So naturally, you're gonna feel it and thrive off it. But they played there before, and whatnot. So I wouldn't say much. We commit too many players at time. We have to watch getting counted. Counter attacks, conceding. We're probably gonna have to. Holding is a bog standard back three defender. In another life, he's Connor Cody and Tarkowski. To be fair, I think Tarkowski, unfortunately, he's got a lot about him. I'd play Tommy over Holding. We can't because it's a myth. So I think, James, I took your comment off, but you asked about Smith Rowe's lack of minutes. Honestly, I don't know, and it's concerning. Run up the lights, guys. DG doesn't sneak into the Emirates change rooms every day for nothing. Big up yourself. Have you seen Tony Adams' comments on how he would deal with Haaland? No, but I think, you know, Vidic and Tony Adams are people who have spoken about Haaland, and they're people, if they're talking about defending, you got to listen, innit? Can you point me to a link or in a good direction as to where that is? Don't forget, people, at 7 p.m. we will be doing a watch along that will be across both Twitch and YouTube. I've just posted the link. Please do me a favor and smash the like button. On the topic of promotion, people, big up my guy Zims Mueller in the cut. Make sure you're following him on Twitch. Pepper's never lost to us. We don't know that. Wait, nah, he's lost to us when he was at Barca, but in this Arsenal thing, City thing, nah. Big up another Fabrice live stream. Big him up, man. Make sure you're following him. Today feels like exam day when you know you haven't studied enough. Just got to hope for the best. Wait, we can't be complacent. We can't. It is, man. After this, bro, chill out, man. Large up yourself and everyone else. White as a central defender and Tierney as a right back rather than Holding as a... Nah, my guy. We're making more holes in our jacket. DG, it's going to be 1 goal difference today. Mark my words, bro. I can't lie. I want 1-0 Arsenal because I think it's going to be filled with goals and talking points. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not because it's emotional, man. It's emotional. It's emotional. 3-5-2 for me. White, Gabriel, Tierney is centre backs. I hear it. There's logic, but I just fear, and I keep saying it, that we're adding more holes. Come on, people. Big up the 77 people. Big up the Twitch gang because you lot do your job. We might go play Football Manager in a couple moments. And to the 77 people who've hit the like button on YouTube, appreciative. If you haven't, come on, man. Unexpected high bills. It's going to have to go back to that, people. Really enjoying you lot's talking points. I think we will bring a different energy. We have to. But if I'm harsh, we brought a lot. If you lot have time, go and watch the game at the Emirates last year where City had 2 games in a week. We were motivated to put our season right. We scored the early goal. We were great, man. The last couple of games, we have matched them. We have done, you know, we've gone man. Actually, Arteta's gone man for man, really. And the team has done their thing and it's been a lot closer. But fundamentally, we've lost the 3 games, isn't it? So there's something missing there. I don't know what it is, but there's something missing. And again, you could, in the Prem, not saying us, hope it would be Spurs, but in theory, you could be competitive and play well for 38 games. If you don't pick up enough points, you're gone. So as much as we're doing well, it's the business end. He lost the FA Cup semis to Arsenal. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting about the FA Cup. Back 3 settings. DG, if Xhaka is out for this game, which is likely, he's travelled, though. He's travelled. So I don't think Xhaka is out. And to be honest, I'm looking at all my players to stand up to be counted today. But if there's one, it's Granite, bro. Like, man, need these kind of guys to stand up. Like, Xhaka, listen, Odegaard's the captain, but come on, man. Xhaka's the captain. Like, Odegaard's the captain, but Xhaka's the captain. Like, I need to get with it, you know. Even Martinelli, I think, man, in our squad, Martinelli, since he signed for us, has shown he's fearless. He's a mentality monster. If everybody, you know, is in a healthy way, scared to let the collective down and everyone individually does their job, then we have half a chance. And react to mistakes, because at the end of the day, mistakes happen in football. You're going to lose the ball. You're going to switch off. You're going to get caught. You're going to probably concede against City, who I can't tell you that I don't know where to even start. When was the last time they probably failed to score a goal? You need to react. I don't want to see heads dropping if the inevitable first City goal drops in. I don't want to see heads drop because this is the thing. And I think if we take the Liverpool game and a couple of the top 6 games and we try and play like how we did in the first 20, 25, whatever, West Ham as well, half an hour, let's call it, and apply that across 90, then we'll be all right. Because as I said, Man United at home and away, there was better and worse moments for both teams. Chelsea out of the top 6 games, I would say Chelsea's the one where, listen, they didn't offer a thing in it. Spurs didn't really offer nothing at the Emirates, but we let ourselves down 7-2 on the transition from Saka being dispossessed from Bentancur. It was one-way traffic at their place, and it was a great performance. But if you remember, Ramsdale did have to make 1-2 saves. Liverpool game away from home, you will watch that. Liverpool game at home, there were a couple of those moments as well. And obviously, there's a bunch of them. So a lot of the things that are concerns and a lot of the things to give us confidence, honestly, I think if you've been watching Arsenal this season, and obviously winning, losing, drawing, it takes emotion. But if you've been watching the games for what it is, I don't think you can be surprised at the evident shortcomings Arsenal are faced right now at this moment in time. Martinelli is the one for me today to make a fearless run that ends in a goal. When Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus turn up, Arsenal can cook any team in the world. It's in their hands. I mean, we can be competitive against any team, but as we're saying, ifs and buts and coulda and woulda, shoulda, and all these things, you have the capabilities. Respectfully, worse teams have beaten City, but you need to go out there and do it. Like, it needs to correlate, innit? Like, the good thing about football, we can have all our opinions before the game, but we have to watch it and see what's going on, really. Get the likes up, DG Nation. Big game tonight. Can the boys get 3 vital points at the Etihad? Trossard should start today up front with Jesus, unless we're going to go to a back three. And do you know what? On one hand, I think Arteta's going to stick to the script and play the back four. But on another hand, I do think maybe if it's not a formation change, there might be a player that, you know, a player that we don't expect to start might start, or a player that we expect to start might have. Naturally, there's going to have to be differences in it. And I do think all my wingers have improved defensively. I actually think out of all the wingers, for as much as I like Saka needs to improve the most defensively. You know, he switches off quite a lot, as shown when Ake, who might not be playing in this game, scored in the FA Cup. Martinelli's done well. Trossard's done well. Even in the Bournemouth game, there was a couple of times, like if you don't remember, in the 90th minute when Ramsdale made that great save and we're hit against the run of play, Trossard's back there playing like a centre-back because we've been hit on the transition. It's a big couple of days for Arsenal. I'm trying to get a preview show with Matisse because obviously looking ahead of City, not that you can do that. We're playing midweek again next week against Chelsea. And even if you win, you know, it's complete ecstasy if we win. It's all doom and gloom if we lose. And I personally think the title is gone anyways, unfortunately. And I think it, you know, if you lose, it's even more gone. But there's a reality where that's not the case. But also, the job's not done really, because if you beat City, bro, you need to beat Brighton. You need to do something against Newcastle. You need to do something against Chelsea. And then you've got other teams fighting for their lives. Mahrez with abrasive. Zinni starts, way too much space. Mark them words, brother. Don't think Vieira, big up American Goon, man, but what can I say? Don't think Vieira is the guy. He's not shown me enough to be convinced. He needs to get on the juice. I'll give him till next year because I like the technical level. And I do, as I said with Fabrice, I think he's joined at the best and worst time for any new player, really. You know, I'd say the best time because we're actually doing things as a club. But the worst time is because when we're not in form and everybody's playing rubbish, it's easier to get opportunities. Right now, Xhaka relatively has been in good form and plays anyways. You're not playing ahead of him. Odegaard's the captain. You're not playing ahead of him. You know, you've done the makeshift out wide thing. Saka's locked down his role. You're not playing ahead of him. So, yeah. I mean, Trossard, I more want Trossard to play in the 10 than the 8, if I'm honest with you. I've got a bad feeling about this game. Trust me, DG. I don't trust anyone who says trust me, and I got a bad feeling as well. But good feeling, bad feeling, just take all the reasons to be optimistic and all the reasons to be pessimistic, and let's try and have a positive outcome. As Arsene Wenger used to say, the past brings regret, the future brings anxiety. There's no time like the present. Winning, losing, drawing, it comes with football. For me, obviously, I want the points, but it's more how we win, how we lose. Well, nah, let me not lie. I don't care how you win, just do it. It would more be how we lose. If we go down like soldiers in the trenches, we're fighting and that, then fair play. If it's one where, you know, all I hear is De Bruyne, Grealish, Haaland, Bernardo, I don't want to hear that. Something tells me there's a penalty in this game. By God's grace, Jesus take a tumble. I don't know about that. What's missing is 3 quality additions. I blame Edu and Vinay. I think we need, well, you said quality, so arguably, yeah, but I think we need curtain raisers and we need squad fillers as well. Same way Tomiyasu isn't amazing and there's a drop-off in an attacking aspect when he comes in for Ben White, or if he plays centre-back. That's a medium minute, like you can get away with that, and there'd definitely be a lot more confidence. But again, I don't have sympathy because we know Tomiyasu, for as good as he's been for us in the squad and had a great game against Salah, that was probably his best and only good game. He's been a bit disappointing. We know a bit like Partey that you're always going to have anxiety with these lots' fitness. So, and we knew that from August, and we knew that in Jan. So we've made our bed lying. I would love to have a fit Tomiyasu, definitely a fit Saliba, but I'd love to have a fit Tom. I think Tomiyasu and El Nene, if anyone could come back from being injured at this moment in time, it'd be them, but they're not. You should be a motivational speaker, DJ. I don't know about that, man, but I appreciate the kind words. I'd like to see Jesus and Nketiah start. Unless Jesus goes out wide, in which you're not going to play ahead of, you might, because the manager might, but you're not going to play ahead of Saka, you're not playing ahead of Martinelli, so it's probably a myth, really. I mean, there's every reason to be optimistic or not in it. I don't like being optimistic for no reason and burying my head in the clouds. I don't like being negative and burying my heads in the sand. I don't think either one. I think they're both toxic. You know, I think you can sing Kumbaya until you're blue in the face, and I'd be here for a while. You see the melanin. Doesn't mean anything. I think you can be as negative as you want. Doesn't mean anything. I think both are right. We take the points and we find that middle ground, which is considering the reasons to be positive / optimistic and considering the reasons to obviously be negative and pessimistic, and just go out there and, as Fabrice said, play the game, not the occasion. Go out there and try to do your job, and hopefully things take care of itself, really. But it's a game where the players have got to want it, man. Like, you can't let City take food off your table. I think City are hungry. They could do a 3-peat. They could do a treble. You know, they're professional footballers. When you're this close, you want to win. But you could, and I don't think they're complacent. But if anyone should be complacent, it should be them, not us, because we haven't walked the walk they've walked in. What player at Arsenal's played in the Champions League final? Well, technically Jorginho, but you get the point. Who's played in the Champions League final? Who's won the Prem? Who's won the League Cup at Arsenal? None of them. Who's won the Prem? Who's been in this scenario before at this club? No one. So we should be more hungrier than them. And, you know, sometimes hard work beats talent. So let's go, man. Really. Dream squad refresh. Caicedo, Rice, Tony, there'd be 3 welcome additions, but they're going to cost cha-ching, cha-ching. If that Arsenal side can beat them, then this one can most certainly do that. To be fair, we did the madness. Pep does have a lot of stat power, to be fair. You can be the better team on the day, and then Kevin De Bruyne puts an insane ball in the box. And the bench, you know, that's where, even though we ain't got the luxuries they have, that's where Arteta's got to earn his money. You know, when to bring people off, when to make a change, when to maybe go free at the back, when to know when to retreat. Because I do think, as much as I love Arteta and the players, a team's a reflection of the manager. Like, there's a bit of naivety there. It's like Jack Wilshere with the under 18s, unfortunately, getting smacked 5-1 to West Ham. You saw West Ham, the young boys, they were experienced, they were street smart. Their manager is a very street smart team. Our young players with Arsenal, we was very naive yesterday. Jack Wilshere's just got the job, so he's naive. So we're going to have to see, really. I think Jorginho could start in the Xhaka role. Could do. Jesus, Zini, Jorginho. Man is saying City 3-0. He's saying FIFA past the pad settings is peak. If that's the case, it's peak. Keep running up the like buttons. If you've hit the like button, people, God bless you. We've got 104 likes. I hope you'll win the lottery if you've done that. If you haven't, peak. And one love to everybody on Twitch. Make sure you're following if you haven't already. Ish and bricks for tonight. We gave City a good game, first game. Feel like we got a chance. Everyone's in life's got a chance. But man, if I correlate that to winning, I don't really, obviously I want to play well, but I don't care about playing well. It's like, there's positives to take if you play well and lose, but in relation to what, I don't check the league table for what I'm fighting for, it don't mean much. Because there's been games even though where we're at, we've played well and lost. There's been games we played crap and won. Sometimes you don't always, sometimes the fine margins work for you, sometimes they don't. And I do think it's a game where Arteta's going to have to earn his money. And I must admit that I'm not jealous of Mikel Arteta, because as I said, I think unless you win, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't change, you're immature, you're naive, you're inflexible. If you do change, you bottled it, you got scared. Why did you go to a back 3 when the back 4 has got you here? It's one where you can't really win. But that's where, you know, obviously, I'd love to imagine for the last few weeks, Arteta has had to have been thinking about this, because we knew there was a possibility Saliba's not there. And we can't be surprised. Like the things we've talked about throughout this hour and a bit, it's nothing that's come out over the last 24 hours. So I wish I had something to say, but we're going to have to wait and see, man. We really are going to have to wait and see. Arteta should play TD instead of Zinchenko. I think there's every logic to that, but I also feel we've got to be on the front foot, and we do need to progress to be more than just a team that Zinchenko is running the show. We need Zinchenko to do that inverted stuff, plus have a bit more about us in seasons to come. But we also need to offer something on the ball, innit, really? Like, and I'm keen to see, do we gamble with a high line? We kind of did in the FA Cup, and we had to clip Holding after 45 minutes. Lately, our line's been back slightly towards Ramsdale. Obviously, that encourages City to come further forward. And the thing with City is it's going to be a nervy 90 minutes, because as you lot are alluding to, it takes 30 seconds. We've seen Ederson, I don't know about this year, but throughout his time, he's got a couple of assists. It goes, you know, everybody can score, everyone can assist. And as much as City are great on the ball, it's off the ball. Again, I can't wait to watch this game twice, actually, because it's off the ball that's going to make the difference. And that's been making a difference. You know, obviously on the ball, Tomiyasu effed up in the last game. But if you remember, Kevin De Bruyne and Grealish have made their movements. People have clocked when it's too late. The same goes for Ake against Tomiyasu and Saka in the FA Cup. The same actually goes for, I believe, at the Emirates last year when Rodri scored that late winner, that kick in the teeth. Benjamin White and ironically, again, Rob Holding, they switched off. And I know it's difficult. It's difficult, especially in the last 10 minutes of a game, a high-intensity game against City where we're probably not expected to have the majority of possession where, you know, you're going to have to be under the cosh at some point. I get it. But this is where these players dreamed of being. You got to go and do it. The main thing we need to do is put up a fight. If we don't put up a fight, it'll be disappointing, but I think they will. We're gonna have to see, man. Like I said, I'm not jealous of the players. I'm not jealous of Arteta. Like it's them games there in it. This is, I firmly believe, this is last chance saloon. If there ever was something that you would describe as a last chance saloon. Only play rude in a professional way can survive as long as it's not kick out in matches and not lose goal. They're all professional fouls. I think you're alluding to professional fouls. I just hope Arteta won't try silly mind games and find himself overthinking like Southampton, West Ham games. I think Eddie starts, I can't lie, you need a win and the chances will be minimal. Can't risk Jesus missing big chances. Eddie misses big chances, but we also need Jesus to drop into, as much as he needs to occupy the centre-backs, I need Jesus, you know, we're going to lose that midfield battle, but to kind of lose but win at the same time, Zinni's got to fly in there. Jesus has to drop back to go with the three in midfield. So, yeah, man. I would go with Jesus. You know, I don't think you're wrong. There's every logic with playing Eddie, but I'm not being funny. We bought you for these moments, Jesus. Come and show why, innit? Simple. For me, anyways. Like, again, nobody's right, no one's wrong, but that's what I'd be rocking with if I'm completely honest with you lot, man. So we really will have to see, man. We really, really, really will have to see, man. It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. Spot on with what you said about hard work, beating talent. In certain games, we've lost or dropped points. I feel like the other team wanted to win more. Everton away, West Ham away. So exactly. We wanted to win more than Man United at home. They wanted to win more away from home. When we went to their place. Pardon me. And as we know, football's a 90-minute game. And Arsenal, where we're at this moment, even when we win, you know, we're not necessarily great. And I know it's near enough impossible. Pep will probably say his team hasn't, but like, we're not exactly amazing for 90 minutes. You know, there's a Man United away from home. We should have scored, the goal should have stood and whatnot, but there was a period we had them under the cosh. There was also a majority of the game where they outfound us. And there was a period where Arteta and the players showed their naiveties when the changes came. You know, we're not necessarily good for 90 minutes. We go through these great 20-minute stages like Liverpool. Great for the first half an hour. Backs against the wall for the second half. We got to remember, football's a 90-minute game. I genuinely think people forget that. And I genuinely think people, just off topic, forget that the Premier League is a marathon, not a sprint. You know, think about what we've seen this week for all clubs, or talking points with Arsenal. And then last week. A week is a long time in football. So imagine 30-odd. Last season, we lost 3 games in a row and won 3 by beating Chelsea, Man United, and Leeds. Can we do it again after 3 draws by beating City, Chelsea, and Newcastle? Easier said than done, but if you want to do that, I start tonight, innit? How about Trossard? I think Trossard's the best finisher at the club, like at the aspect of finishing, but would I drop Martinelli? No. Would I drop Saka? No. Would I drop Jesus? No. If Xhaka's fit, Xhaka starts for me. Odegaard plays in the 10. And obviously Partey, so there's not really much I could do, but it's one where, as I said at the start, I can understand the logic if in some capacity Tierney gets into the team, potentially Jorginho comes in. You just said Trossard, and it's one again where the manager's got a headache, innit? Simple as that, like he's got a crazy headache. Have to go for it, man. Got no choice. Like literally got no choice. Like the long gone, we have to be smart. Go for it, but be smart. Like, but long gone are the days of just sitting back against a team and getting, like, they might have, like what used to happen to Arsenal in the early Emirates era. Like, we'll dominate a team, a million chances. That team is, the game's in their half. They get one opportunity, literally one shot on target, and they get 3 points. I do think you've obviously seen occasions where that's happened, but generally, especially when you're the underdog, the best chance is when you kind of go for it really and truly. And I think we need to box very smart in it. But we have to go for it. I think as much as it's about tactics, it's about mentality, it's about emotions and all of that. It's firmly now or never. I wouldn't go with a 4-4-2. I don't think we should be changing stuff. And if we are going to change things, I'm more likely to go with a 3-5-2. Also, I feel like if Arteta did change formation, system, personnel, we lost, he shouldn't get slated. We lost twice to City playing the way we usually play, so changing things up is logical. I get that. And I'm sure the majority of you locked in here, because, you know, you got a good choice in content creators, and I appreciate your support. You lot can see that. But for the 200 of us, and maybe others that are not here that feel like that, we all know that is not what the media is going to say, because that's not going to get engagements. That's not going to get clicks. That's not driving attention, really. That's not a great narrative for them to sell papers and that. Sky Sports is not really a good talking point, really. It all depends, because if you change things and we see the angle but it kind of falls short, then maybe they'll allow him. And that goes for all clubs, you know, that goes for all clubs, especially the big club, not necessarily Spurs, because don't really care about that, really and truly. Again, people, as I said, don't forget to join me at 7 p.m. because we will be watching Arsenal versus Manchester City. Again, even if you're not going to be there, smash the like button. Unexpected high bills due if you don't smash the like button on this vid and that vid. Again, the talking points, etc., has been amazing. Yeah, man, I'm going to go have a little late lunch. And then, yeah, man, I appreciate you lot giving up your time on YouTube and Twitch. It's been fantastic. I'm just going to go get some food, chill off, and I'll see you lot later, man. Big up Fabrice for cutting through. I am going to make sure you're following on Spotify as well. All my socials are in the description. Make sure you're following on Spotify, Instagram, all of that stuff. I will be putting this clip on MP3 for you lot when you're, you know, driving or in the gym or whatever. Go and check out the last 2 vids I dropped. You know, I talked about a certain right back, 3 actually. Talked about a certain right back, Martinez of Genoa, who if we don't get Fresneda, I'm on that. Dropped a video with Babs. We recorded that yesterday, picking Mark. I think sandwiched in between that, like at 1 in the morning, I couldn't sleep because I was nervous about this game. So I just looked at the latest news concerning Arsenal and then done a video for that. So yeah, man, without you lot, the platform's dead, in it. I'm just the face of it, but this is our platform, innit? So let's keep growing, let's keep subscribing, let's keep following. Appreciate you lot's talking points, you lot's questions, you lot's difference of opinions, you lot's talking points, you lot's emotions, actually, and actually not just Arsenal fans, because I see a lot of usernames that are always here, G1, and if I ain't said your name, don't feel left out, that have nothing, Hector, that have nothing to do with Arsenal, that are always here, man. So yeah, man, I'll see you lot later, and may the best team win, and hopefully, well, I will be live later, but this time tomorrow, well, I would have gone live before this, it's something positive. But for now, you lot stay safe, stay blessed, one love.
You always use that active red line, defending. I think it's like you always use that active red line, defending.